On the menu for today is cheeseburger, mac, and roasted broccoli. This is a great option for meal prep as it stores well in the fridge and reheats great in the microwave. The first step is to cut all of your vegetables into a small dice. For this recipe, we're going to use 1 sweet onion, some shredded carrots, and 6 cups of spinach. When meal prepping, I always recommend doing your chopping before you start cooking as it's going to make the cooking process go more smoothly. Whenever I have a recipe that calls for chopped carrots, I always buy the pre-shredded stuff just because it's easier to cut up and makes things go a little bit faster. For the roasted broccoli, you're going to take 6 cups of frozen or fresh broccoli, drizzle with olive oil, season with salt and pepper, and then spread it out on a sheet pan. Place it in your oven at 450 degrees for 10 minutes. Take it out, turn them, and cook for an additional 5 to 7 minutes. One little trick I found when roasting frozen broccoli is to preheat your sheet pan in the oven while the oven is preheating, and this helps with browning on the broccoli. While the broccoli is in the oven, you can begin the rest of your cooking. Brown 3 pounds of ground beef in a large pot and season with salt and pepper to taste. Once the ground beef has finished browning, make a bit of room in the center of the pot, add in your onions and carrots, and cook them until they have softened. After the onions and carrots have cooked, stir in 4 cups of broth. I use chicken broth, 3 cups of milk, 2% works fine. If you wanted to use almond milk or oat milk, I'm sure you wouldn't have any issues. Then add 2 tablespoons of flour to help thicken it up. For seasoning, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and then a half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Stir around your mixture to make sure everything is evenly incorporated, and then bring that mixture to a boil. Once it has begun to boil, it is time to add the noodles to the pot. Add 1 pound of dry noodles of your choice. I'm using penne here. I know the recipe is called cheeseburger mac, which means it should probably be macaroni. I didn't have any, I used penne, and I promise you it's going to turn out just fine. Cook the noodles according to the back of the packaging. Once they are finished, try one to make sure it's soft. If it is, you can continue on with the remainder of the recipe. Fold in your spinach, add cheddar cheese, season with salt and pepper to taste, and adjust flavors as needed. If you find that your mixture is still a bit soupy, you can continue to cook with the lid off and allow some of that extra liquid to evaporate. At some point when you're cooking the pasta, it will be time to take the broccoli out of the oven. Just reserve it off to the side until you're ready to plate. Ideally, you'll get some nice browning on the broccoli like you see here. That's going to add more flavor. For plating, divide your ingredients evenly between 10 containers. I just eyeball it. If you wanted to have exact portions, you could weigh and measure out each individual serving so that you know the exact amount is going into each one. I think that's way too much work, and as long as your eyeballing is semi-accurate, it's going to be close enough to what you need. Each of these dishes has roughly 661 calories and 39 grams of protein. If you need something that's a little bit lighter on the calorie side, you can pick a leaner ground beef or a leaner ground turkey. These will last you 5 days in the fridge or weeks in the freezer as long as you are following best freezing practices.